What's up, YouTube? This is DelandoBrad here, Lance Corporal Bradford. Um, Wanted to come to you guys with a new video this time. Since I started this YouTube thing, a lot of people have been asking me, what's better? What do I think is better, the Marines or the Army? And the truth is, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter which one you choose. Both. Bottom line is that you're serving the United States of America, and you're making the sacrifice, and you're willing to serve your country. I think that's the first thing that really matters the most to me. But so with that said, because a lot of people do ask me that question, I had an idea for a video to say, okay, I'm gonna just give you guys kind of what I've been through pretty much through this first year. Almost been a year for me. In a couple more months it'll be a year. But just kind of tell you what I did as far as the training, with different things that we go through as a Marine, or to be a Marine, and once you're a Marine, what things that you do on a regular basis. So I want to give you a point of view straight from a Marine, and then also I teamed up with a soldier. She's in the Army. She's been in around the same time that I've been in so far. And her name is Private First Class Kim. Her YouTube page is under Carol Strong 1. So I'm going to put up the link so that we're going to be trying to do the same criteria for this video, and then she's going to be answering questions for people who are interested in the Army as far as what they do as far as training to this point so far. She's a MOS 12Y geospatial engineer. She's still in MOS school because her MOS is very technical, so she's been in MOS school. I think it's like 22 weeks or something like that. So she's gonna answer. So you go to her video. She's gonna answer questions as far as the Army, and I'm gonna answer questions for the Marines. So here we go. I've been in the Marine Corps for 9 months. The process that I went through to be a Marine, I was a pulley for almost a year, like 10 or 11 months. Start off from there. You swear in, you go to MEPS, you do your physical, all the armed forces does this, but you do your physical. You take the ASVAB, you determine what jobs you qualify for and what for. The difference with the Marines, I know, as far as choosing a job, the Marines allow you to choose a job field. Job field meaning that you get to choose infantry as a job field, or combat support, or different things like that, but you don't get to choose a specific job. I know in the Army you get to choose a specific MOS. Being like example would be, if you chose an armor MOS, you would get to choose to be tank specifically. That's in the Army. But in the Marines, you will get to, if you want to try to be a tanker, you would choose combat support, and hopefully that the needs of the Marine Corps will allow you to be a tanker. So if you're looking for a chance to get a specific job that you really want, the Army allows you to do that. The Marines, you just get to choose the job field. Another thing with the Marines, sometimes, I'm not sure with the Army, but you can go open contract. When you go open contract, you're hoping to get something that you want based off the scores that you qualify for, but you don't have a specific job. Kind of a lot of people think of doing that because you go open contract, you may not have to wait as long in the DEP program, because now these days you're having to wait a lot longer because the economy. A lot of people are looking for jobs, job security in the military, and the wait is longer. Like when I joined, I waited 10 months, so the wait is about that long for most purposes, unless you're reserve. Reserve usually get to go to boot camp faster, at least for the Marines. But if you go open contract, then you really pretty much have no control of what MOS you're going to get or what field. You're just kind of going in blind, and whatever they say they need you to do, that's what you'll be. Okay, for the Marines, it's 3 months long, 13 weeks, and you do, after you get through, make it through the 13 weeks, if you're strong enough, mentally and physically, you get 10 days off. You get 10 days of leave. So you go to boot camp, you graduate, go home for 10 days, and then from there you get to go you go to MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. They teach you the basics of you learn the basics of how to be a Marine, Now they teach you the basics of how to be a rifleman, and you are there for that is 29 days, 4 weeks or so. Um, so once you're there, 29, you complete MCT. From there, you go to your MOS school. So far, you boot camp for 3 months. You get 10 days off with MCT for 4 weeks, and then you go straight to your MOS school. Whatever MOS you chose, that could be anywhere from, it could be short, 3 weeks. My MOS is very short. I had to wait a long time to get to my MOS because it wasn't picking up. But my MOS is only 3.5 weeks. But you have other MOSs that, especially if you're in aviation or doing something engineer or something like that related, it can take up to a year. Linguists, if you're doing Marine Corps is teaching you how to learn a language. I have a fellow Marine who he's still in MOS school, and he went in before me, but because MOS school is so long, he still hasn't got to his official unit yet. You can get all this information online, but just wanted to try to give you information directly. I know a lot of people hear a lot of different things, but that's pretty much the initial training. People say you get to choose your duty station. You get to choose a preference as far as East Coast, West Coast, or overseas. For the main part, they're usually going to send you to kind of the bigger bases for your, being at in your first tour. I say East Coast, mainly a majority choose East Coast. If they send you East Coast, majority of the time you're going to go to Camp Lejeune. West Coast, Camp Pendleton, and overseas would be Japan, Okinawa, Japan. So usually those are the main spots you can go, but you can go to any of the other different spots depending on what your MOS is. West Coast, some of the bases. West Coast, you have Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, the air station Yuma in Yuma, Arizona. You also have 29 Palms. East Coast, you have Cherry Point, that's an air station. Camp Lejeune, like I just mentioned before, and the air station that's in Beaufort, South Carolina. And overseas, also you have Hawaii, which is, I've heard people say that it's considered West Coast and it's considered overseas. Not totally sure on that one, but Hawaii is another place you can go. Japan, you have air stations over there as well. So those are kind of some of the places you can go. Kind of the major spots you can go for Marine. Now, there's a lot more different places you can go, but it all depends on what your MOS is. But those are, I would say, your first time around, the duty station that you usually hear people going to. Their first time around. Now, if you realist, it depends on what openings they have for your job, what spaces they have, that you can kind of have more control over where you want to go sometimes. The whole point is the Marine staying physically active. Now, depending on your MOS, if you have a combat-related MOS, sometimes the more physical, you guys are going to be doing more physical things. The infantry be constantly training. I'm in supply operations field. Our regiment is we PT 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, usually in the morning. As far as testing standards, the PFT, which is a physical fitness test, we do that annually. Actually, we have one coming up this week. The combat fitness test, which is like a lot of different little obstacles and ammo can list and 800-meter run. PFT consists of pull-ups, crunches, and 3-mile run. For males, the minimal that you can do for pull-ups is 3 pull-ups. I believe it's 3 pull-ups. Crunches is 50, and for the 3-mile run, you have to at least run it in 28 minutes. That's minimum. For females, it is a flex arm hang of, I believe, 15 seconds. Crunches 50 is a minimum, and then minimum for females is 31 minutes for a 3-mile run. So we do the PFT annually, we do the CFT annually, and then also we, in the Marines, we always have to qualify on the rifle range. That's annually as well. So So you do all those things in boot camp, but as a Marine, we have to keep up with our qualifications yearly, annually to make sure that we're staying sharp. But like I said, with other MOSs, you will have a lot more probably training as far as weapons, different things like that. Me being the supply, we don't do as much. We still do those things, but we won't do them as much as a combat MOS, if that makes sense. Promotions, a lot of people say, "Nah, we hear that the Army promotes faster than the Marines," and I can say that may be true. Being that the Army is a lot bigger than the Marine Corps, but also in the Marines, it depends on your MOS. Promotions, pretty much some MOSs in the Marines have lower cutting scores. You have a score for each MOS that pretty much based off what points you need to get promoted to the next rank, which is based off your PFT, your CFT, pros and cons, your time in grade, your time in service so far, and just your conduct as a Marine. And so, say for instance, you have one MOS that is they have lower scores because they are in need of more Marines or more leaders in that Marine, NCOs or whatever. And you have another MOS who doesn't need as many because maybe they're just a lot of different. They pretty much full in that MOS, so that score may be higher. So depending on what MOS you may have, you may promote faster, being that the scores to promote may be lower, if that makes sense. They do probably promote faster, but also when you're in the Marines, a lot of it is based on performance. If you're willing to put out and do what you need to do and be squared away, then hey, you'll promote. It's totally up to you. It's just how bad or how hard you're willing to work, how dedicated you are to trying to be a better Marine. If you do those things, you will be noticed. You can also always get promoted meritoriously, so it's not always off just our points, but you can also go before boards and promote meritoriously, which allows you to rank up faster than your peers that's in the same MOS. Discipline, one of the biggest things in the Marine is discipline, like formations, speaking at parade rest when you're talking to NCO, different things like that. I mean, it's everything that you learn in boot camp is kind of like the basics, and it stays with you. Marines, you gotta understand, we're part of the Navy, so meaning that being part of the Navy, we are associated with water. If you're looking for special forces for the Marine Corps, then you definitely want to be a good swimmer. And if you're not, then I would definitely suggest doing swim lessons. Maybe you might tune into Jimmy D. Shea's swimming videos. Maybe ask him some questions. If you want to do Special Forces Marines, you want to know how to swim. Definitely can't be in the Marine Corps, being recon or MARSOC and can't swim. So if you want to do that, Special Forces Marines, start swimming. So YouTube, I hope this information helps on my page and also on Carol Strong page. Hope the information is helpful to you guys. Bottom line is research, make an informed decision, choose wisely. For record, for me, Semper Fi, hoorah.